Hello there guys and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea versus Hull City game in the 5th round of the FA Cup and won the game 4-0, and we are through to the quarter-finals of the FA Cup as well. And getting straight into it, starting off with the lineup, it was a 3-4-3, Willy Caballero in goal, a back three of Antonio Rudiger, Ethan Amparo and Gary Cahill, Davide Zappacosta and Emerson Palmieri making his Chelsea debut at left wing back. Then in Drinkwater as Fabregas as the two central midfielders, with Willian and Pedro on either wing, with Olivier Giroud as the striker. The bench was filled basically only with youngsters plus Morata and Moses, as all of Azpilicueta, Christensen, Kante and Hazard got a full-on rest and were not involved today. Hull, quite surprisingly, at least to my knowledge anyway, did miss the top scorer Bowen, and obviously the three Chelsea loanies Aina, Tomori and Hector as well, but centre-back and captain Michael Dawson managed to get fit for the game. And getting straight into the game, we actually had that, inch-perfect start, with Willian making it 1-0 in the second minute, after 106 seconds to be exact already. A poor mistake by Hull in midfield. Giroud got the ball, laid it off to Willian first time. The Brazilian went past two players with a bit of nice skill and then bent the ball into the far corner from the outside of the box with his weaker left foot. Just a very, very good goal, and like I said, the perfect start. It was genuinely a good start to the game. Not just the goal, Fabregas had a decent chance to make it 2 just a few minutes after our goal, but the keeper kept it out with a good save. Then in the 14th minute, another good chance for Chelsea. This time was Giroud after a great pass by Pedro, but the Frenchman decided to take the shot first time on the volley, but the ball, he put it slightly over the bar. To be honest, I think he was offside when he actually wasn't. I think that's why he tried it first time rather than controlling it. But, it was what it was. It was just superb football by the team, and especially by Willian early on, which led to another chance for Giroud to get his first Chelsea goal, but the striker missed Willian's cross by a couple of inches, even though, the striker did jump or slide in to make himself as long as possible, basically, and to get a touch to the ball, but he just about missed it. In the 26th minute, then another chance to make it 2, this time for Pedro after a really quick break and a really good pass by Willian for the Spaniard, but Pedro couldn't get the ball past the keeper. A minute later, though, in the 27th minute, Pedro did make it 2-0. Another great goal. Drinkwater playing it to Giroud, who laid it off first time back to Fabregas around the halfway line. Cesc then played the perfect first time over the top through ball for Pedro, who made a great run, controlled it really well, and just put it past the keeper to, like I said, make it 2-0. Then in the 32nd minute, it was just goal after goal after goal. In the 32nd minute, Willian made it 3-0 with another really, really good goal by the Brazilian. Top-class physical play by Giroud to win the ball back after the Willian back heel actually was intercepted. Giroud then laid the ball basically off to Willian, a good 30 yards from goal. Brazilian ran with it for just another few steps and then had another great curling effort from well outside the box. This time, he didn't, lift it from the ground. He literally curled it along the ground, hit the inside of the post, and in. Willian now with 10 goals and 10 assists in all competitions this season. Very much underrated by a lot of people in my opinion, especially recently. He has been very, very good. And that was obviously the game basically done and dusted after just half an hour with obviously 3 very good goals and 3-0 up. In the 42nd minute then, Olivier Giroud made it 4-0, finally getting his first Chelsea goal after missing a fair few chances over the past 2 games that he did play. A bit lucky to keep the ball in the build-up as a Gary Cahill shot from distance came back to Cahill because it was just blocked before Cahill then passed it to debutant Emerson Palmieri, who nutmegged the defender before playing the perfect low cross to our French striker who netted it from close range. And that was then basically half-time at 4-0, basically the perfect half. Hull didn't threaten us properly just once even. 4 goals, good football, lovely jubbly. And getting into the second half, 17-year-old youngster Callum Hudson-Odoi came on for Pedro at half-time. Wanted him to start already, as you know, if you saw the preview yesterday. But getting to play the full second half was good with me as well. I would have rather have him come on for Willian instead of Pedro, because, I want Willian to start over Pedro against Barcelona. And the second half didn't start also well, because in the 49th minute, Hull City were awarded a penalty after Fabregas committed a very, very silly and useless challenge just inside the box, but very much out wide in the box, basically. Nowhere near the ball, clear penalty. In the 41st minute then, Hull City, makeshift right back and usually central midfielder and FIFA YouTube as well, David Miles stepped up to take the penalty, but the penalty killer himself, Willy Caballero, was there again and saved the spot kick. Wasn't a perfect penalty, but still a very, very good save by the Argentinian. And I think if the stat I read was correct, He kept out 5 of the last 8 penalties, he came up against, excluding penalty shootouts. And that is an absolutely incredible stat for a goalkeeper. Outstanding, that is. And generally, it was just a very sloppy start to the second half, giving the ball away way too easily and way too many times. And Hull was certainly on top for the first 15 minutes of the second half. Created a few dangerous moments, adding to the penalty as well. After around 60 minutes, though, we started to take back control of the game, but weren't anywhere near as dangerous as we were in the first half. The players, quite possibly, also conserving energy a little bit, whether they'll feature against Barcelona or not. A lot of big and important games coming up, so at 4-0 up, why not? And then in the 62nd minute, another debut other than Emerson tonight, as youngster Scott came on for Fabregas, the 20-year-old American central midfielder who already played a fair bit for Chelsea back in pre-season last summer as well, obviously came on and made his debut. And then a few good saves by the keepers on either side, especially the Hull keeper with a fair few good saves throughout the second half. During the period of those good saves by the keepers, in the 70th minute, Morata did come on for Willian and Giroud as expected, but generally the game just died down more and more the longer the second half went on, really, and there wasn't really much happening at all. Until the 89th minute, when Willian went for his hat-trick with another curling effort from, again, outside the box. And like for his second goal, he hit the post, but this time, rather than the inside of the post, he hit the outside of that very post and it went out for a goal kick. Quality performance, but a brilliant though, nonetheless. And that was then full-time at 4-0, through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. And the first half was great to watch. 4 goals, great football. Second half had a lot less intensity. Just wasn't that good, but either side really. Well, Hull actually got better, but we just weren't that good, so it was more of an even game and just not that exciting, to be honest. A few chances on both sides in the second half, but obviously no goals. But overall, like I said earlier, conserving some energy in the second half, resting a lot of key players today ahead of the massive upcoming games, especially Barcelona on Tuesday. But obviously, and most importantly, we still won the game tonight. And like I said before, we are through to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. To be honest, I'm not sure when the draw is, probably on Sunday or Monday, I don't know when the last game is. Very much looking forward to see who we will face in the quarterfinal. Now, I do want to speak about a few players individually though. And I want to start it off with Ethan Ampadu. I'm not sure if is it Ampadu or Ampadu. People say it differently every time basically. Anyway, you know who I'm on about. And what especially in the first half, the defence didn't have much to do. His calmness on the ball is absolutely immaculate. No matter under how much pressure he is, he just knows where to pass the ball, when to pass the ball. He doesn't, get stressed. He's just so good and collected on the ball. And another thing I really like about him as well is the way he commands players around him. At his young age, like, geez, he's still a teenager and he's commanding players around him. Much, much more senior players around. He's just commanded them, telling them where to be and whatnot. Very much looks like a proper leader in the making. And also what I really like is he puts his head where other people wouldn't even dare to put their foot. Once during the game, he got literally kicked in the head. I mean, he has dreads, massive dreads, which basically work like a helmet, so he's basically safe. But, I really like that about defenders, and, he's good on the ball, great tackler, really, quick as well, so, very great future ahead of him, and, just, want him to get more games, really, because, I really like him. The next one, Emerson Palmieri. Finally got to make his Chelsea debut, and I was happy with him, to be honest. He got an assist, kept it simple, didn't give the ball away. His positioning looked very good, in my opinion, actually. He certainly doesn't look like he lost any of his pace because of that ACL injury, which some players sometimes do, and he's Brazilian. So, of course, he's good on the ball. I think we're looking at a very, very good player here, and obviously, the longer he's around, the longer, he gets settled, the more he plays after such a long injury, the better he will get again. And he was good. Of course, it was only Hull City today. And they didn't even have the proper right back. They had David Marler, the centre mid, playing right back because Ola Aina, the, normal right back, is a Chelsea loanee and was ineligible to play today. But so, you have to start somewhere. And I think, he played really well today. Next one, I want to speak about Olivier Giroud. And he's getting better and better for us. 2 assists and a goal tonight. His strength and hold of play is quality. He seems to have a good understanding with all of Hazard, Pedro and Willian already. And, it's just really looking good. And, so far I've been really happy with him as a new signing. And then obviously we have to speak about the Brazilian Willian. What a rhyme that is. He has to be mentioned. What a performance by him. Of course, it was only Hull, with all due respect. But still, those 2 goals by him were incredible. So much trickery and skill and driving the ball forward. Absolute quality. Sadly, because he played the full game when Pedro came off at half-time, I reckon Pedro will start over Willian on Tuesday, even though, like I said, Willian is now 10 goals and 10 assists in all competitions this season, which, is very, very good. Not just, as one side of the game. For example, Hazard scores a lot more goals than he has assists. Willian usually does that as well, but this season it's, the same. So very, very good. And, he's having a very good season, and especially recently, he's been very, very good. But that's what's up next. The big one. Barcelona. Let's have it, guys. Let's just have it and let's surprise the world of football. And let's, I'm not confident, But I'm just excited. I'm so excited that, you know, for that game, for the first and the second leg, which I'm going to attend the second leg, you know, that I'm just, I don't know, maybe more positive than I would be otherwise. I don't know. I'm just really excited, and I'm just, I don't know, just have that hope that we can do something that very few people will expect. But that's really it from me. Leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below on the game. Who did you think was the man of the match? I think it easily has to go to Willian. What did you think of Ethan Ampadu, debutant, Emerson Palmieri? Obviously, Carl Scott as well. Didn't really mention him. He was alright. Didn't do that much. Didn't, you know, made a few mistakes here and there. Had a few good moments in other places. But, you know, leave me all of your thoughts down in the comment section below. Leave a like if you did enjoy this video. Don't forget to check out my social media, which is Last1507 on both Instagram and Twitter. As you can see over here, Last1507 on both of them. I'd massively appreciate it if you could follow me there. And also, don't forget to subscribe to 100% Chelsea. That'd be class as well. Thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. And I'll see you next time.